The Engero Tales, Tales of the Soul.
Roots of the Acacia, a legacy of hope.
Chapter 1, A New Dawn in the Village. The cooperative had become a lifeline for the women of the village, a beacon of hope and resilience amid their shared struggles. Yet, it wasn't without challenges. Each member carried their unique burdens and triumphs, shaping the group into a vibrant tapestry of intertwined lives. Nalongo Rose, a widow raising her mischievous twin boys, Isaac and Ismail, infused the group with her infectious laughter, though her eyes betrayed the weight of her daily struggles. Fatuma, a spirited young woman with a fire in her soul, had broken free from an abusive marriage, her determination to rebuild a life of dignity inspiring everyone around her. Then there was Auntie Jaja Mukasa, the eldest member, whose wrinkled hands and wise eyes bore witness to decades of change. She often remarked that this cooperative, this movement of women, was the most hopeful she had seen in her lifetime. Their stories converged beneath the expansive shade of the village's acacia tree, a gathering place where laughter mingled with tears and dreams took root. At the center was Mariana, their reluctant leader. Her quiet strength and steady wisdom guided the group, even as she battled her own insecurities. The cooperative wasn't merely about farming or weaving, it was about reclaiming dignity, fostering solidarity, and rebuilding lives that had weathered countless storms. Beneath the acacia's watchful branches, they discovered that their strength lay not in their individual stories, but in the powerful chorus they created together. Chapter 2, The Return of Keto. Keto's return stirred unease within the cooperative. His sudden presence was like a gust of wind, unsettling the delicate balance the group had worked so hard to build. Nalongo Rose, always fiercely protective of Mariana, viewed him with open suspicion. "People like him don't change overnight," she muttered to Fatuma one sweltering afternoon, her hands busy weaving a basket. Fatuma, however, saw things differently. She had walked her own path of pain and redemption, and her voice carried the weight of hard-earned empathy. "Everyone deserves a second chance," she said softly, her words a gentle counter to Nalongo's hardened stance. Despite the initial resistance, Keto's quiet humility began to shift perceptions within the group. He was not one for grand gestures or loud proclamations, instead, his actions spoke volumes. When a fierce storm tore through the village, damaging the cooperative storage shed, Keto was the first to roll up his sleeves. He worked late into the night, hammering and lifting alongside Joseph, a shy but determined teenager who had joined the group to support his widowed mother. It was Joseph who first bridged the gap between Keto and the skeptical women. Drawn to Keto's quiet strength, the boy found in him a mentor, someone who listened and guided without judgment. Their bond became a small but pivotal thread in the cooperative's tapestry. One evening, as the group gathered under the acacia tree to discuss plans for the coming season, Joseph spoke up. "He's trying," the boy said simply, his voice steady but earnest. His words carried a weight that silenced the murmurs of doubt. Slowly, the group began to soften, though not without caution. Keto's presence was a test of their resilience, a mirror reflecting their own capacity for forgiveness and trust. And though the road ahead was uncertain, the cooperative was learning that rebuilding lives sometimes meant making space for redemption, no matter how fragile it seemed. Chapter 3, The Seeds of Hope. The sunflower farm stretched out like a golden promise against the horizon, a symbol of the cooperative's hard work and shared dreams. It had grown into their crown jewel, a source of both pride and sustenance. The fields were a vibrant mix of colors and stories, tended by women and men who had joined the movement, each carrying a history of struggles and aspirations. Grace, a former teacher who had found refuge in the cooperative, used her talents to uplift the group in unexpected ways. During breaks from the back-breaking work of farming, she would gather children and adults under the shade of a nearby tree, weaving literacy lessons into their daily routine. "Education is power," she often said, her chalk-streaked hands moving with purpose as she guided her eager students. Slowly, the farm became not just a place of toil, but a space of learning and growth. But progress was not without its challenges. One morning, as the sun rose over the fields, a chilling discovery greeted the cooperative: rows of sunflowers trampled, fences torn down, and tools scattered across the ground. Vandals had struck in the night, testing the resolve of the group. For a moment, despair hung heavy in the air. Then Jaja Mukasa, the eldest member, stepped forward. Her weathered face bore the wisdom of years, and her voice carried the weight of survival. "We've faced worse," she said firmly, her hands gripping her walking stick like a staff of authority. "Let them see that we are not afraid." Her words sparked a fire in the group. Mariana, ever the steady leader, quickly organized teams to assess the damage, replant the ruined crops, and repair the broken fences. Fatuma, with her fiery determination, took charge of security, rallying the younger men, including Joseph, to patrol the fields and protect their labor. Word of the cooperative's plight spread to neighboring villages. Inspired by their resilience, volunteers arrived to help. Men brought tools, women brought food, and children carried water to the workers. What had started as an attack meant to divide and demoralize became a moment of unity, a testament to the strength of community. Under the blazing sun, the group worked side by side, their hands planting seeds of hope in the fertile soil. By the time the last fence post was secured, laughter and song filled the air. The cooperative had not just rebuilt their farm, they had fortified their spirit. In the days that followed, the sunflower fields began to recover, their bright faces turning once again toward the sun. The vandalism had left its mark, but it had also revealed something far more enduring: the cooperative's unwavering determination to rise together. Chapter 4: Aisha's Journey. Aisha had always been drawn to stories, not just in words, but in the emotions, struggles, and triumphs they carried. Her gift for storytelling became a bridge, connecting the village's heartbeat to the world beyond. Armed with a camera and a determination to give the cooperative a voice, she set out to document their journey. Her first documentary was a labor of love, woven together with interviews, candid moments, and glimpses of everyday life in the cooperative. Aisha captured the essence of their struggles and victories, the way the sunflowers swayed in unison as if echoing the community's resilience, the laughter shared under the acacia tree, and the determination etched into weathered hands. One unexpected star emerged from her work: Mojuma, a vibrant grandmother with an infectious spirit and a voice that could light up the darkest corners. Her rendition of a traditional lullaby, sung while planting sunflowers alongside her grandchildren, became the emotional centerpiece of the documentary. The melody carried a deep sense of belonging, and when Aisha shared the clip online, it struck a chord far beyond the village. The lullaby went viral, drawing international attention to the cooperative and sparking conversations about rural resilience and the power of community. Aisha's efforts did not go unnoticed. An invitation to screen her documentary in Kampala marked a pivotal moment in her journey. Nervous but determined, she packed her camera and a heart full of hope, ready to share her story with a wider audience. In Kampala, she met James, a young journalist with a sharp mind and a knack for uncovering untold stories. Intrigued by Aisha's work, he offered to mentor her. What began as a professional relationship soon blossomed into a friendship, one built on mutual respect and a shared passion for storytelling. James' encouragement became a guiding light for Aisha, helping her refine her craft and amplify the voices of those who inspired her. Through James, Aisha learned to see her work in a broader context. "Your stories are not just about this village," he told her one evening as they walked through the bustling streets of Kampala. "They're about humanity, the struggles we all share and the hope we all need." Their collaboration grew, and so did their connection. James' belief in Aisha's talent gave her the confidence to dream bigger, to imagine a future where her storytelling could spark change on a larger scale. As the applause rang out at her documentary screening, Aisha realized that her journey was just beginning. The cooperative story was now her story too, a testament to the transformative power of resilience, community, and hope. Chapter 5: The Winds of Change. As the cooperative flourished, its success drew unexpected allies and sharpened divides within the community. Among its champions was Dr. Nsabuga, a distinguished agronomist who had heard of their efforts and saw an opportunity to amplify their impact. With his expertise, the cooperative ventured into new territory. Dr. Nsabuga's workshops were transformative, introducing sustainable practices that not only boosted yields but also preserved the land for future generations. From crop rotation techniques to organic pest control methods, the cooperative adopted strategies that made their sunflowers a source of pride and envy. Neighboring villages took notice, and soon, the cooperative became a beacon of possibility, a living testament to the power of unity and innovation. Yet, not everyone celebrated their achievements. Resistance simmered among traditionalists who viewed the cooperative as a threat to the old ways. Chief among them was Makama, the village elder. His voice carried weight, and he used it to denounce the movement at every opportunity. This cooperative, he warned, is tearing apart the traditions that have held this village together for generations. Amidst the tension, a quiet rebellion brewed in his own household. Nombi, Makama's daughter, had been secretly attending cooperative meetings. Drawn by the sense of agency and purpose she saw among the members, she found herself inspired by their vision of a future where women and men worked side by side as equals. The truth came to light during a tense community meeting. With villagers gathered under the towering jackfruit tree, Makama once again railed against the cooperative, his words heavy with disdain. But this time, Nombi stepped forward. Her heart pounded, but her voice was steady. This movement isn't destroying traditions, she declared, her eyes locking with her father's. It's creating new ones. Traditions that give women a voice, that bring hope to families, and that build a future we can all be proud of. A stunned silence followed. Nombi's courage had pierced through years of resistance, planting seeds of doubt among even the staunchest critics. Her words, spoken with conviction, became a rallying cry for others who had remained silent out of fear or loyalty. In the days that followed, a shift began to take root. Villagers who had once been skeptical started to approach cooperative members, curious to learn more about their work. The lines between supporters and detractors blurred, and the cooperative's vision of progress began to feel less like an imposition and more like an evolution. For Nombi, it was the beginning of a new chapter, not just for herself, but for her village. She had taken a stand, and in doing so, had shown others that change, while daunting, could also be a source of strength. Chapter 6: Blossoming Together. The village had become a living canvas of innovation and hope. Where once the land bore little but struggle, it now flourished with life. The sunflower fields stretched as far as the eye could see, their golden blooms swaying in harmony with the gentle breeze, a symbol of the unity and determination that had taken root in the community. The cooperative's growth was nothing short of remarkable. What had started as a modest effort to provide for families had blossomed into a multifaceted enterprise. Andrew, a former carpenter with an inventive spirit, spearheaded a new beekeeping initiative. His hives, strategically placed near the sunflower fields, produced honey of exceptional quality, quickly gaining a reputation far beyond the village. But Andrew didn't stop there. His resourcefulness led to the creation of honey-infused soaps and candles, products that not only added a lucrative revenue stream but also showcased the cooperative's commitment to innovation. The village market became a bustling hub, drawing visitors from neighboring communities eager to purchase these unique creations. Aisha's storytelling continued to elevate the cooperative's profile. Her second documentary, Voices Under the Acacia, captured the essence of the village's transformation through heartfelt interviews, stunning visuals, and authentic narratives. Premiering at an international film festival, the documentary earned critical acclaim and brought much-needed funding to the cooperative. Aisha's growing recognition also inspired young people in the village to pursue their own creative endeavors, fostering a new generation of storytellers. Amidst the progress, Mariana and Keto found a new rhythm in their relationship. Though their connection remained platonic, it was underpinned by mutual respect and a shared commitment to the cooperative's mission. Keto's contributions, once met with skepticism, had proven invaluable. Whether repairing tools or mentoring younger members like Joseph, his quiet dedication earned him a place in the cooperative's heart. Mariana, ever the anchor of the group, marveled at how far they had come. Standing at the edge of the sunflower fields one evening, she reflected on the journey that had brought them here, the struggles, the resistance, and the triumphs. She understood now that their success wasn't just measured in yields or profits but in the lives transformed, the dreams reignited, and the bonds forged under the acacia tree. As the village thrived, so too did its people. Fatuma opened a small cafe where cooperative members gathered after long days in the fields, sharing laughter and ideas over cups of spiced tea. Mwajuma led a weekly singing circle, her lullabies now accompanied by the cheerful hum of the community. And Nombi, emboldened by her stand against tradition, began teaching young girls the skills and confidence they would need to shape their own futures. Together, they had done more than rebuild a village, they had created a legacy. The sunflowers, the honey, the stories, they were all symbols of what could be achieved when people came together with a shared purpose. And as the first stars appeared in the evening sky, their light seemed to echo the cooperative's unyielding spirit, resilient, hopeful, and ever-blossoming. Chapter 7: The Global Movement. The cooperative story was no longer just the pride of the village, it had become a beacon of possibility for communities across the region. What had started as a small initiative beneath the acacia tree had grown into a movement, the power to inspire change far beyond their borders. Mariana and Aisha found themselves at the forefront of this transformation. Invitations to speak at conferences poured in, and their journeys took them to bustling cities and prestigious gatherings. Standing before audiences that ranged from grassroots activists to international policymakers, they shared the cooperative's story of resilience, collaboration, and innovation. Their words carried the authenticity of lived experience, resonating deeply with listeners who saw in them a model for their own struggles. One such listener was Amara, a philanthropist and entrepreneur from Kenya. Having been moved by Aisha's documentary, Voices Under the Acacia, Amara decided to visit the village in person. Her arrival was met with curiosity and anticipation, and she spent days immersing herself in the cooperative's activities, from touring the sunflower fields to attending literacy classes led by Grace. Impressed by what she witnessed, Amara's foundation provided a grant that enabled the cooperative to purchase much-needed machinery. The new equipment revolutionized their operations, from automated presses that increased sunflower oil production to beekeeping tools that boosted honey yields. With these advancements, the cooperative's efficiency soared, allowing them to expand their reach and improve the livelihoods of even more families. But the cooperative's ambitions didn't stop at their own success. With the encouragement of Amara and other supporters, they launched an outreach program to share their knowledge with neighboring villages. Nalongo Rose and Fatuma took on the role of ambassadors, traveling from one community to the next. Their visits became events unto themselves. Nalongo Rose's infectious laughter and Fatuma's passionate storytelling captivated audiences, while their practical demonstrations, teaching sustainable farming techniques, setting up beekeeping initiatives, and offering insights into cooperative management, provided invaluable tools for communities eager to replicate their model. "Your struggles are our struggles," Nalongo Rose would often say, her voice carrying the weight of shared experience. "And together, we can turn them into triumphs." The ripple effect was profound. Villages that had once faced despair began forming their own cooperatives, adapting the principles they had learned to their unique circumstances. Sunflowers bloomed in fields where weeds had once reigned, and the hum of bees became a familiar melody in places that had known only silence. As the movement grew, so did its impact. Aisha's documentaries captured the transformation, weaving together stories of resilience and unity that inspired even more communities to join the cause. Mariana, ever the steady leader, marveled at how far their journey had taken them. "It's not just about us anymore," she said one evening as the cooperative members gathered under the acacia tree. "It's about all of us, everyone who believes in the power of working together, of lifting each other up. This is just the beginning." The cooperative's name became synonymous with hope, and its legacy continued to blossom, proving that even the smallest seeds, when nurtured with care and determination, could grow into something extraordinary. Epilogue: The Acacia's legacy. Years had passed, but the acacia tree stood as steadfast as ever, its roots anchoring it firmly in the soil that had seen the village's transformation. Its branches stretched wide, casting a protective shade over the life that thrived beneath. Children laughed and chased each other, their playful energy echoing through the fields. Their mothers worked nearby, tending to the sunflowers and the hives, their hands busy but their hearts light. Mariana, now affectionately called Jaja by all, had become a revered figure in the community. With her silver hair catching the afternoon sunlight, she stood beneath the acacia tree, her cane in hand but her stance still strong. She watched the familiar rhythms of life unfold before her, the harmony of people and land, the unity of purpose that had once seemed like a distant dream. The cooperative was no longer just a village initiative, it had grown into a regional network, connecting communities across borders. Villages that had once struggled now thrived, their own acacia trees becoming symbols of resilience and renewal. The cooperative's story had inspired countless others to believe in the power of shared effort and determination. Nearby, Aisha was setting up her camera for yet another story. Her documentaries, now world-renowned, had become a powerful voice for communities like theirs. With every lens adjustment and every interview, she continued to capture the spirit of hope and transformation, ensuring the world never forgot the roots of this extraordinary movement. Mariana smiled as she watched Aisha at work, her heart swelling with pride and gratitude. It wasn't just the fields or the hives or the market stalls that made her proud, it was the people. The seeds of hope they had planted together had grown into something enduring, something greater than any one of them. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting the tree's long shadow across the fields, Mariana turned her gaze upward to its sprawling branches. The tree had seen it all, the struggles, the tears, the laughter, the triumphs. It had been their witness and their anchor, a silent testament to the power of community. "We did it," she whispered, her voice carried by the breeze. "And it will only keep growing." The laughter of the children grew louder as they circled the tree, their voices a promise of the future. And as the first stars began to twinkle in the twilight sky, the acacia stood tall, a living legacy, its roots intertwined with the hearts of those it had sheltered. The end. Subscribe, like and share our channel Engero Tales, the tales of the soul. Don't miss an episode as new tales await you every week. Let the stories awaken your spirit and fill your soul. Watch. Share. Keep the tales alive. See you again.